Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Me, I'm doing good. Welcome to my channel, From Darkness to Light, and then also my podcast, A Happier You Leads to a Healthier You. I'm your host, Coach TJ. Thank you guys for joining me for this episode. Give me 1 second. I had a technical difficulty, so bear with me just 1 second. I ended up doing something very, very wrong, and now I'm trying my best to fix it, but it's probably not going to allow me to fix it, and I'm probably going to have to end up not worrying about it at this point in time. So bear with me a second. I'm just trying to connect my YouTube channel, so bear with me just 1 second. Okay, just trying to make sure I can connect it before I get started. So now that it's connected, okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, we good. So bear with me just 1 second. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my podcast. A happier you leads to a healthier you. I'm your host. Y'all know who I am by now. Thank you guys for joining me for this episode. If you guys want to hear more of my podcast, please go to Spreaker.com/a happier you leads to a healthier you. If you want to see all my podcasts, you can go to my name and you can check out all of my podcasts. If you want to be a member of this channel or of all my channels, just go to the name of each one of my podcasts, and you're able to become a member of my podcast. I am a certified recovery life coach. It's all about helping people on their paths, their journeys, and their purpose to a new you through self-discovery. I help people with drugs, alcohol, codependency. I help people with sex addictions. I help people with people pleasing, seat fillers, Captain Save a Hole, Build a Bear, Build a Dolls, addictions as well. The love, like, appreciate, valued, wanted, needed to be a part of something, to be validated, to be accepted, for somebody to know your worth, to prove something to people. That type of addiction. The addiction of rejection when it comes to, let's say, for example, somebody doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, and you can't accept the fact, excuse me, this person doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, and you're still chasing behind this person knowing this person doesn't want you. That is also an addiction as well. Anytime you don't accept things for what they are and you can't accept the situation for what it is, that is an addiction as well. And so that is also another addiction that I deal with as well. That siren addiction, where it's all about the representation as far as the external health, when it comes to what somebody looks like, how much money they have, things of that nature, not understanding that's just a representation of the person. So you can be addicted to the representation of a person, but not who that person truly is. So I hope you guys are doing great this evening. I do have another podcast that I'm gonna post. I tried to do it, but it just didn't work out the way I thought it was gonna work out. But it was a really good podcast. But I'm gonna do it from my computer so that way I can actually be able to post it, so you guys can hear it on my Finding Your Inner Peace and Tranquility. But this particular podcast is all about recovery from health issues, from diseases to depression, anxiety, anorexia, bulimia, when it comes to psychological help, when it comes to food addictions, when it comes to going to get plastic surgery addictions, when it comes to people having an addiction to their weight. And yes, that is a real thing. There are some people that are addicted to their weight, meaning that it can go two ways. Either the person is gaining more weight because they're eating more, or they're looking in the mirror, for example, and even though there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, for some reason they see something wrong. And it's like they have to just keep doing stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, dude, there's nothing wrong with you. And on the other flip side of that, there are people that have something wrong with them, and they basically are using it as a way, as a woe is me type of moment, So you have people out here that are addicted to being victims when it comes to their health and wellness. So those are just some of the things that I deal with as a certified recovery life coach. And if you want to be on my channel as far as a guest, or you want to write me a letter as far as anything, as far as what subjects y'all would like for me to talk about, or anything from the past podcast that y'all want more information on, please email me at asha.mariama01@gmail.com. That's ASHA.mariama01@gmail.com. Let's get into this conversation. How do we have a happier you? How do we go from a happier you and being a healthier you by doing what works for you when it comes to your health? Okay, this is probably going to piss some people off, because I was watching somebody today that just completely changed my whole perspective of when it comes to health and wellness, and when it comes to recovery, and when it comes to health and wellness. Let me first say this. When it comes to health and wellness, it is not easy to be healthy. I'm not going to lie to you. It is not as easy as people think it is to be healthy, because there are people that are dealing with multiple different health issues, and everybody has to go about dealing with it differently. You might have one person that may have cancer, and chemo helped them through that cancer. For other people, they may have to go the holistic route when it comes to cancer. So they may decide to go out of the country and meet with one of the doctors that actually found a cure for cancer, and go and try the experimental drugs to see if it works. And if it does, and the cancer does not come back, and then they come back to the United States and the cancer does come back, it's what you're consuming. So, for example, a friend of mine did a series on cancer a few years ago, and there was all the people there that went, they ended up being cancer free. One lady had stage 4 cancer, and they were able to reverse it by holistic treatments. Whereas in the United States, the first thing they want to do is give you chemo. They want to give you a temporary fix to something that needs a permanent solution. And then when somebody comes with a permanent solution, the United States doesn't want to look into it. There were 3 African doctors that came up with cures for different parts of cancer. And yet the United States hasn't even looked into that. There's a young man that actually found a cure for, was it prostate cancer? I can't remember which one it is. I'm about to look it up. But the United States is not even looking into it. You have a lot of holistic treatments that can help millions of people, and yet and still the United States doesn't even want to try holistic treatments, because if in fact holistic treatments work, that means we wouldn't need prescription drugs. All we have to do is basically find a holistic book with a whole bunch of holistic treatments in there and try them and see if they work. And how I found out about holistic treatments was when I became a life coach. That's how I found out about holistic treatments, because when you're a life coach, you'll find a lot of people that are about spiritual treatments and about spiritual healing. And you have healing doctors, and there are different types of healing doctors. There's spiritual healing doctors, there's holistic healing doctors. I mean, far as life coaches. So there's many different types of, treatments that you can do. You have some people that do experimental treatments that help when it came to curing all kinds of things. So it's funny that in this country, there are people that end up in remission, and then the cancer comes back. So now I'm starting to wonder, is it really in the United States about having a permanent solution to our issues, or is it a temporary fix? Because I noticed that in Japan, they live way longer than anywhere else around the world. Seriously. They're living past 100. And I remember a long time ago that people in the beginning of time lived about 900 and something years. So my question is, why are we getting sick? Why is it that with cancer, you get into remission and then it comes back? How is it that it's coming back unless it's got something to do with the foods that we're eating? That it has something to do with the chemicals that they're using in our clothing, our foods, and our drinks and everything else. I look in the back of the box and I'm seeing things that basically don't even belong in these drinks. Like, for example, I'm looking at my water, right? And this is supposed to be purified water. It has calcium chloride and sodium. I can't even pronounce this. So why is it that all this stuff why is it that we have chlorine in our drinks? I thought you weren't supposed to drink chlorine. You're not even supposed to drink chlorine. But yet it's in our water. You have all kinds of additives that are dangerous to the system. And if you look them up, they'll tell you some of them even cause cancer. Then not only that, where your stuff is manufactured at, some of that stuff is manufactured through tree nuts, shellfish, seafood, stuff that a lot of people are allergic to. There are people that have never been allergic to seafood before and now allergic to it. You had one woman that went out to eat. I forgot. I think it was Red Lobster she went to, and she ended up having a very bad reaction to tilapia, and she ended up going to the hospital, and they had to take both her arms and both her legs. How is it that basically, essentially, a woman that was never allergic to seafood all of a sudden now had all of her limbs cut off? How is that possible? It is to the point that when I went to Fort Lauderdale, I had an allergic reaction to chocolate. And when I went out to eat the Golden Corral and I had chocolate, I had a very bad reaction to chocolate. I have never had an allergic reaction to chocolate a day in my life. And yet now I have a reaction to chocolate. I never used to have a reaction to coconut water or anything that was coconut. Now, all of a sudden, now I have an allergic reaction to coconut. And when I went about getting an allergy test, they told me the only thing they do is blood work. Now, if I get this blood work back and they tell me I'm not allergic to seafood, then apparently it's the fact they're cross-contaminating food, meaning they're cooking their chicken in the same thing as they cook their seafood in. And that's not what you're supposed to do. You're never supposed to cook chicken and seafood in the same grease, ever. But that's what they seem to do. That's like for me, when I cook seafood, I make sure I clean out my deep fryer when I used to, be able to eat fried chicken, but I don't eat fried chicken as much as I used to. But it's a lot of stuff that I eat now that gives me some type of reaction and I can't eat it. So that means it makes what I eat very limited. And then the other day, I went and I had went and got some cucumbers. And I ended up chopping them finally. And I noticed that one half of the cucumber didn't have any seeds at all, but the other half of it did. And then the first one was half of it was hard, the other half of it was soft. And when I started, taking off the peels from it, Man, it had a hole in it. I'm like, what in the world is this? It felt like rubber. It didn't even feel like a cucumber. And then I tried a little bit. It didn't even taste like a cucumber. I had to spit it out. It didn't even taste like a cucumber. I'm like, what is this? So at the end of the day, what is going on with our food? Why is it that we have all these additives in our foods? What is the purpose of all of this? The worst part of it at all is when you look at the ingredients, you got to actually look it up to see. That's why before I go to Walmart, I make sure that I look up whatever it is on the back of it to make sure I know what it is. At the end of the day, it's just like today when I was looking at turkey meat and I was looking at turkey burgers. And don't get me wrong, they do have a lot of protein, but they also have a lot of cholesterol, which is not good. So you got to get lean meat versus just getting regular chicken because the cholesterol that's in it. So what's even more bizarre, the first person that got COVID basically ate a bat. So I really think the real reason why they're trying to get people to go vegan is because all of these animals are infected by something that's making people sick. That's just my thoughts on that. So at the end of the day, it is sad that people are getting sick, and then not only that, when it comes to chronic pain, there's another thing we need to talk about is chronic pain. With chronic pain, there's no cure for it. And if it was for me having chronic pain from having multiple slips and falls and car accidents, I wouldn't have came to the realization that pain don't go nowhere. I would have thought that pain just go away because you can put your mind to it and it go away. Nope, it's still there. One thing about pain, it's going to find somewhere to go. It's going to find somewhere to move. It's going to find somewhere to get comfortable and cause chaos. That's what pain does. Once it enters your body, it's a wrap. It's not going nowhere. Once it comes into your body, whether it's mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, whether it's relationships with your family members or somebody you don't know, whether it's, just being out and about, man, it's always something. So when it comes to pain, it does not go nowhere. And then none of these medications really help with pain all day long. And then if you look at all of the side effects are worse than the godforsaken medication. So like I said, when you're looking for solutions, a lot of these doctors don't have it. And I'll give you an example. I sat down with a nurse practitioner and I was doing it via telehealth. And I was telling her about my throat. And the first thing she said is, well, you're going to have to wait until you go to the ears, nose, and throat doctor. You mean to tell me I got to wait till September for them to tell me what's going on? I done been to the ears, nose, and throat doctor. They still have not given me any medication for my lip noise. They still ain't gave me nothing. And my throat has gotten way, way worse. Now, today was a good day because it didn't cause me very much problems. But I'm here to tell you, it wasn't a picnic. I can tell you that much. There are a lot of people that are basically having COVID, and the medications they gave you don't really do much because you still can catch COVID no matter what. That's the sad part about it. And they talking about, well, it's not that serious. It's serious enough that it's not gone. How are we getting all these different strands of COVID? So at the end of the day, people are getting sicker and sicker. And then they have all these bacteria infections in the actual sea. So you can't even go on the beach without worrying about whether some bacteria infection is going to unalive you or not. What in the world is going on in this country to where we are always going through something when it comes to medical? It's always something. Every time I think everything gonna be okay. Nope, it ain't okay at all. Not at all. So like I said, it's crazy. But like I said, when it comes to your health and wellness, do what works for you. If you somebody like me that has been searching for answers for decades, don't give up. Don't give up. If you got to go out of the country to go and get some type of help for your issues, please do so. Don't sit up here and not go and get some type of assistance when it comes to your health. If that means going outside of the United States to go get help, please go do so. Because that's exactly what I'm going to do next year. I'm about to go to Turkey to this place about treatment. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. So I just want people to understand that, when it comes down to your health and wellness, it should be the most important thing, and nothing or nobody should be coming between that. If they do, then oh well. So at the end of the day, like I said, they ain't said nothing about health and wellness. They ain't said nothing about how they gonna make people be healthier. Our kids are obese in this country. We are the largest number of people in this country that are obese, besides England and France. Now France is pretty healthy. Besides London, we are one of the most obese countries in the world. And what's even worse is the fact that people make it seem like it's easy to lose weight. People make it seem like you can just go to the gym and lose weight. And now, come to find out, the gym does not make you lose weight. What makes you lose weight is what you eat. What makes you lose weight that you don't eat past 6 o'clock. What makes you lose weight is that you're not eating a lot of sugar and you're not eating a lot of things that are unhealthy. Now, here's where the problem is. Everybody talking about you shouldn't be drinking dairy. We've been drinking milk for decades. There are women that drink milk when it came to breastfeeding their babies. So I'm a little lost on that. People have been drinking milk since the beginning of time. So I'm a little lost when you're sitting here saying that we can't drink milk, when we need calcium in order for our muscles and our bones to be healthy. It ain't too many things you can drink that even come close to calcium when it comes to vegetables. You'd have to eat multiple different types of vegetables. Do you know a lot of people stop being vegan because their B12 was so low? You got to have B12. If you don't have vitamin B12, you are screwed, ladies and gentlemen. You got to have the 4 food groups, whether y'all want to admit it or not. You got to have the 4 basic food groups. You got to have protein. You have to have calcium. You got to have magnesium. You got to have omega-3s. You got to have vitamin K and vitamin B3. You got to have these things in order for your body to be healthy. But let's go there about the digestive system, right? The digestive system basically, essentially, is the core to whether you live or die, besides your heart and your livers and your kidney and your brains. So if your digestive system ain't right, the rest of you ain't going to be right. Because this is what's going on. When you don't go to the bathroom the way that you're supposed to, and the food that you're eating is not digestible, then what happens is all that food that you set up there and eat is stuck in your stomach and cannot move because it cannot be digested, which in terms, here comes the parasites. The parasites come into your intestines, small and large, and they're sitting up there eating all of this waste. And not only that, they're basically making it worse. So now you get all this stuff in your stomach, which is why your stomach is big, because the fact of the matter that you would think, oh, go ahead. But if you're not pooping every time you eat, there's a problem. You got to eat something or drink something that's going to cause you to go to a bathroom, because you're going to end up losing your gallbladder. Because if your gallbladder gets infected and you end up throwing up like crazy, you didn't go to the emergency room, because 9 times out of 10, that could be your gallbladder being infected and it needs to be treated. I don't have my gallbladder anymore because I had to have emergency gallbladder surgery, because I kept throwing up for like 6 months straight at night. It didn't happen during the day, it happened at night. And I would have this excruciating pain, and it was so excruciating, it was worse than a gobsicking Charlie horse. Had it for like 6 months, and then one night I was throwing up 6-7 times, and I had to go to the emergency room. They told me that my gallbladder was infected. I'm surprised nobody knew or even paid attention to it. So you'd be amazed what doctors overlook. They don't look for things and look at everything. They just look at whatever they want to look at and then tell you, oh, okay, that's what's going on. Okay. But like I said, it's crazy how, we're in a country where it's supposed to be one of the most powerful countries in the world, and yet we're the sickest country in the world, and yet they're worried about people having children. And then you got women out here who can't even have kids. You got people that are unaliving their children every single day and abusing their children every single day. So at the end of the day, something got to be done here. So all I can say is this here. When it comes to health and wellness, when you go and you get us this is what I always do for my clients. I can tell you what supplements you need, but I can't tell you which one works for you. Like I got that one, what was it? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I went and I ordered something from the TikTok shop. I just got to find it. Oh, here it is. It's that Mr. Micamore 15-day gut cleanse. I'm about to take this tonight and I'm gonna let y'all know how it go. Now they say this 15-day cleanse does work, but this is what I recommend to anybody before you take something like this. Make sure that before you take it, you start off with one. Don't take two. Start off with one. For the first week, take one to get your body used to it. Or take half of it during the day and half of it at night. So that way your body is used to it. Then after you take it for about a week, if it doesn't affect you and it's working, then take two. Don't start off with two. Because what's going to happen is if your body has a reaction to it and you end up going into a thing where you don't have an EpiPen, then you're going to have problems. So you want to make sure that you are using something that basically is not going to cause you an allergic reaction. Also, look at the back of it and make sure that it is it doesn't have any where it's manufactured for seafood and stuff. Make sure it doesn't have that. But this has senna leaf, some type of bark. I can't pronounce it. It's got a powder, flaxseed, aloe vera. It's got some type of lacto, licorice, medium, some type of oil. And then it has rice powder, gelatin, bio. And then it has vegetable, magnesium. So this has, and then it has silicone dioxide. That's what, okay, let me find out what silicone dioxide is. Hold on. Because I need to find out what that is. What is silicone dioxide? I've been trying to figure out and whether or not that's healthy or not. Give me a second. I'm trying to make sure I know what that is. So, give me 1 second. What is silicone dioxide? Okay, give me a second. I'm about to read. Let me share my screen. And this is what I mean when I say you need to look at something and make sure it is what it is. Okay, silicone dioxide, also known as silica, is a natural component made of two of the Earth's most abundant material, silicone and oxygen. Okay, so what does it do for the body? So what does it do for the body? It increases your development. It increases your risk of developing serious silica-related diseases such as silica, and lung cancer, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Okay, so it is healthy for you. So like I said, this is what I would do for everything that you get ready to buy. Make sure you look at it. Make sure you know what it is, and make sure you know that it's not gonna be bad for you. And it says breathing crystalline silica dust can cause silicosis, which is a severe cause and can be disabling or even fatal. So like I said, just make sure that you pay attention to that. So like I said, you just want to make sure you know what it is you're putting in your body. So if I wanted to ask the question of, where is it at? Whether I can take this capsule and break it apart, you can also ask that question as well, because I can't swallow pills. So if you have these in capsule form, I wish they had them in pill form, but I don't. But you can ask, because on the back of the box it doesn't say whether or not you can actually break it. It says don't see the recommended dose. Do not use if you are nursing and pregnant. If you have if you have abdominal pain, diarrhea, loose stool, bleeding, abdominal cramps, or have bowel movements after the use of laxative. Okay. So if you have any known medical condition or you're taking, consult with the doctor. So it doesn't say that I cannot take this by opening it. But sometimes with pills, sometimes with capsules, you're gonna have to open them. If you're like me, if you can't swallow capsules, then you're gonna have to end up chewing it. So I need to make sure that it's okay for me to use this product. So let me type in. All right. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, y'all. So like I said, when you're trying to find what works for you, make sure, like I said, that you read the back of everything that you are looking at to make sure that you are going to be able to use it, because you never know. So just make sure that you can actually use what it is that you're trying to do. So let me make sure I spell it right. LIAAMIC. Okay, here it is. So this is the 15-day cleanse that they're talking about. So this is pretty much the cleanse that they're talking about. And so it's a herbal. They also got herbal teas as well. And this is actually their official website. So if you have like things you want to know about it, so you actually can go to this website here and actually find it. So if you have any questions, you can contact them. So you can contact them from 8 to 5 and email them, and they'll answer any questions that you got. So like I said, they have bundles. So right now it also has muscle and strength. So like I said, you can go on here. Oh, so they got other stuff as well. They got more than just those pills. They got a bunch of stuff for bodybuilders. Okay, muscles. Okay. So they have more than just that product. Then they have health supplements. Okay, they got blood pressure support, blood sugar support, women's support. Let's see, thyroid support. I need that for thyroids. As soon as I find out whether or not my thyroid has an issue. Then they have gastrointestinal support, prostate support, uh, immune support, collagen support. So you have mind matrix, mood support. So yeah, they got a bunch of stuff, honestly. Okay. So they have sleep capsule, apple cider vinegar, vegetable joints. So yeah, they've got a bunch of different things. Okay. So yeah, you definitely want to look at certain things to see what were mushrooms. Okay. So for a lot of y'all been up here thinking that this company only has like one thing and they have more. So that's cool. Energy and performance. So they have special formula, superfoods. Let's see what superfoods they got. So yeah, they got all kind of stuff. And if I'd have never clicked on this, I would have never known. For women only, for men only. So yeah, but I have the pills. We got women support. So yeah, they got a bunch of stuff in here. So if you go on their website, you'll be able to see everything that you really want to see. As far as apparently this supposed to be the person that owns it. So if you want to look and see what this one does, so it's really $20 on the website. So it's actually cheaper. So it's 15-day cleanse, reduces bloating and discomfort, gentle and effective, promotes GI health, and easy to use, fast acting, feel different within 12 to 24 hours, contains 30, how to use it, okay, again, like I said, start with one pill, observe the effects, and increase to 2 pills if needed, take daily as needed, up to 15 days, do not repeat until 6 to 8 weeks to allow your gut to rest. So if you take one and one is where it works for you and you want to finish it, then you'll be done in 30 days. If you take one. But what I would recommend is I would just take one and see how you do with it for 15 days and then wait to 16 weeks and then finish the rest of them. And then after that, you can start taking two. That way you give yourself time to be able to do so. It says, in case of high blood pressure, excessive consumption. So again, pay attention to stuff like this. This is FDA registered and approved. So this one, it also is about weight loss. Let's see. The customer reviews are kind of high. And it says it didn't work for me. I'm on day 2 and I'm still using the bathroom like normal. Great product, no complaints. So you see what I mean when I say it works for one person, but may not work for someone else? That's what I mean. So if it doesn't work for you, then don't use it. You can always give it to somebody that it will work on. So again, I tell people sometimes not everything is going to work for everybody. Everybody's different. And as you clearly can see, based upon the reviews, you clearly see that it doesn't work for you. Now, sometimes it can be that the product is more than likely because of the fact that you're not giving it enough time. Some products don't work off the gate the first 2 days. And then it depends if are you drinking it with water or are you drinking it with a regular drink. And then for some people, like I said, it will work eventually. So some people, it may not work the first day, it may not work the second day, it may not work to the third day, because let me explain why that is. Depending on your body, if you don't have any parasites, then no, it's not going to work for you because you don't have parasites. But if you're someone that has trouble going to the bathroom, yes, it's not going to work for you at first because of the fact that your body may be a little bit harder to be able to crack. So that's what I mean. What works for somebody else may not work for one person. So, like I said, I would recommend taking 2. So, if you took it and it didn't work, take 2. Just start with 1 and just see how it works. If you feel like 2 gonna be better for you, then take 2, because that second one may be better. So, like I said, the first couple days, just take 1. If it's working for you and you go into the bathroom, then trust me, because sometimes what'll happen is you'll take it and then get in the car and then it hits you. See, there's nothing a lot of people don't know. When you take laxatives and when you take stuff like this, you got to be moving. I promise you, if you get up and start doing some exercise, I promise you, if you get outside and start walking, I promise you that laxative is going to work. Because, real true story, I took a laxative and I was out with my mom. And at first, the whole day that I took it, it didn't work. But as soon as I got up and started walking around, by the time I got to Walmart and we were walking around, I couldn't hold it. I could not hold it. I had to run to that bathroom so bad. And I'm not somebody that likes using public bathrooms, but I had no choice. I had to go, and I had to go and go to the bathroom. And normally I try to go in there with nobody in there, but I had to let it out. When I tell you I was in there for like 30, 45 minutes, I was in there 30, 45 minutes, just letting it all go. So trust me, the reason it ain't working is because you're not moving. So it's just sitting there. I promise you, once you get up and you start moving around, I promise you it will work. All you gotta do is, if it's not working, go outside and walk for a little bit. Go outside and just walk. Just walk up and down the street. I promise you, it's gonna work. Or all you gotta do is run one good time, and I promise you, it's gonna work, and it's gonna hit your system. It's gonna hit it hard. So the reason why it may not work because you're not moving. So just like anything else, if you're not doing nothing as far as your metabolism to basically get the food to digest, it'll sit there. So matter of fact, I'm gonna take one now because they didn't say that you couldn't break these. So I'm gonna take it in some juice because I can't swallow these pills; they're too big. And I do have some water right here, so I'm gonna take one and just see how it works. And I will let y'all know. If I go to the bathroom tomorrow, I'm trying to tell you, I will let y'all know. But I'm gonna start with one, like they said, as directed. And I cannot swallow these pills. Most doctors will tell you that it's okay for you to be able to break it and take it in some water. So I'm gonna break the seal. I know one thing, these things are in here tight. So it's gonna be very hard for me to break it. I'm trying to stick my nail in there to see if it'll break. If not, I'm gonna have to use scissors to break it. But it takes a little bit to break it. So I'm trying to break it now. I'm just like biting it in half. So like I said, I'm just gonna try one and see how it do for me. And if this thing work, I promise you it. If it worked for me, it worked for you because I have no gallbladder. So if it worked for me and I have a gall and I don't have a gallbladder, then it definitely worked for you. But for those of y'all who are taking stuff like laxatives or whatever, and you wonder why it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you because you're not moving. So all you gotta do is just move. So now I'm putting it in my water. And then I'll flip it over. So now it's still some in there. So now I'm just trying to get the rest of it out. So if y'all hear me, I'm just trying to get the rest of it out. I almost got it all out. Yeah, I almost got it. Or you can, like I said, you can mix this with juice as well. If you think the juice, if you try it and you don't like the taste of it, then I would recommend just use juice then. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pour the rest of it in here. I'm trying to make sure I grab it. Okay, so now it's all. Is there any more in there? Try a little bit. Yep. So I think that's all of it. Yep. That's all of it. So now I'm gonna take the nice little and it looks, and my water looks orange, ironically. So I shake it up and I'm about to drink this bad boy down. Now, if you want to slow sip it, this is what I recommend. Drink a sip of it and see how it makes you feel. Because that way, if you do have a reaction to it, you know you can't drink it. So I just drink a swallow it. If it don't affect me within 5 or 10 minutes, I'll drink a little bit more. But don't just guzzle it down because you don't know how it's going to affect you when it comes to an allergy. So just make sure you just take your time, wait 5 or 10 minutes. If it doesn't affect you, then you can guzzle it and then try a little bit until it's gone. Drink like half of it, see how it make you feel. If it doesn't affect you, then finish the rest of it. And then we'll see how tomorrow morning I feel. Now, if this thing makes me go to the bathroom and I'm seeing things in my stomach that I never knew was there, I'm be like, Jesus Christ Almighty. So I drank a little bit. I seem to be okay. So now I'm going to drink a little bit more. So now I've drunk half of it. So I sit here and drink the rest of it. Make sure it doesn't affect me in like 10 minutes, and then I'll drink a little bit more. Because sometimes you may not need a lot of it. Sometimes you can just sip it throughout the day or sip it through it. Like, say for example, that you're going to take it at 6 o'clock before you go to bed. So take it at 6 and just guzzle it until 8 o'clock. And that should be it. Who's coming? So we'll see how this works tomorrow. If this thing in fact works and it cleans out my system, if I lose weight within these 15 days, it's going to be interesting. But like I said, just wait another 5 or 10 minutes and then drink a little bit more. This is just the first day because you're introducing something new to your body. So if you're introducing something new to your body, don't just guzzle it down. Make sure it's not going to affect your heart. It's not going to affect your blood pressure. That's why I read the instructions on the actual website, which y'all see up here. So, like I said, just take your time and make sure it's something that you can actually, do. So don't just think that, okay, I'm going to take this because everybody else is taking it. No, you take it because it may work for you. And if you drink a little bit of it and it makes you feel bad, then you know I can't take it and give it to somebody who can use it. But like I said, just, you know, wait a couple minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then drink a little bit more, because like I said, you're introducing your body to something that you've never had before. So you want to make sure that you're going to be able to adjust to it. So don't just say, okay, I'm just going to drink this whole entire thing and just guzzle it down. That's like with alcohol. That's like saying you're going to drink alcohol and you're just going to guzzle the whole entire thing down without even thinking about how it's going to impact and affect you. Take your time with it. Make sure that you can handle it. If your body can handle it and your body's like, okay, then 30 minutes later, then you can guzzle it. Then you can drink a little bit more. And that way it's giving, that way by the time you go to sleep, you don't drink it all, you're asleep and everything is good. Now, if you get up in the middle of the night and you start going to the bathroom and it starts cleansing out your system, that's a whole nother thing. Now, so far, I do feel, tightness in my stomach. I do feel something. I do feel like that my stomach is starting to tighten up, that something's going on. I don't know exactly what it is, but like I said, if this is something that only can take once, because it might be too excruciating, then I might take it, I might skip a day and then take another one. So, like I said, do what works for you. If you feel like, okay, I took this, it cleansed out my system, but it's making my stomach hurt, then don't take it every day for 15 days. Wait, give your stomach a rest, and then take it the following day. But I definitely can tell that it is working because my stomach feels extremely tight. It does make my stomach hurt. I ain't gonna lie. And that's probably because it's doing its work. It's probably getting rid of all of those pesticides and all of those eggs and stuff. It's no different than doing a parasite cleanse. This thing actually cleanses your system as well. So that's also what it does as well. So like I said, I'll let y'all know in the morning how it works. But like I said, I'm trying it for the first time to see how it works. But if tomorrow I end up going to the bathroom and all this stuff that's in my system that I've never seen before, then that might not be a bad thing. But then again, pain can be a good thing because pain can also mean it's a healing thing. So like I said, I won't know until tomorrow morning how this is going to work in my stomach. All I know is right now my stomach hurt. I can definitely feel something going on. So if it is going after all of those pesticides and your stomach is hurting, it could be that there are pesticides in your system and it is pretty much, unaliving all of those parasites and getting rid of them all. So it is like from what I understand, it is like a parasite cleanse, I think. I think it's also like a parasite cleanse because this thing, it says that, yeah. So, and then also it says something too, that another reason I can't use this is because it says that it's manufactured. So I'm gonna have to give this to my friend. He'll be able to take this. I won't be able to take it. So when I get it, I'll give it to my friend and let him use it. And I'm glad and you see what I mean when I said I'm glad I just drank a little bit of it and I already took my allergy pills. Imagine what would have happened if I'd have drank all of that. It wouldn't have been good for me. So the good thing is I only drank a little bit. And that's what I mean. Don't just guzzle something because somebody give you some. Taste it. If a little bit of it impacts you, don't drink it. If your instincts tell you don't drink it, don't drink it. But like I said, can I probably finish this? Maybe. It's not making my throat hurt or anything like that, no. But still, I'm not going to take the risk because it does say that it is manufactured. Well, it says okay, it says fish, and then it says also shellfish. So yeah, I wouldn't eat them. I wouldn't even think about drinking no more of that. I just give it to my friend. I just tell my friend I have this cleanse. He can try this and it's helping him as far as losing weight. I ain't gonna be able to use it. I didn't realize till I drank a little bit of it. But that's what I mean. That's why I say pay attention when you take something because you don't know what it's gonna do. You don't know how it's gonna impact you. And like it said on here, if you start having abdominal pain, stop using it. So yeah, so even though it doesn't have any of that in there, but the fact that it's manufactured in a let's see, milk, soy, wheat, stuff like that, not everybody can use this. So like I said, I thank God I just took a little bit of it. And that's what I'm saying. Take a little bit of it, see how it makes you feel. And even if in one day, if that little bit does what it's supposed to do, then okay, cool. Then it did what it was supposed to do. But I can't drink no more of that. So I'm gonna call my friend and tell him he can take this, and I'm probably gonna give these for him to use, and he can tell me how these work. Because the fact that it has tree nuts and seafood, I can't mess with it because of where it's manufactured. Because the last time I got something that was manufactured somewhere, I felt horrible. So what I would probably do is just, not drink no more. And that'll be the end of that. So, but if I try it tomorrow and it doesn't affect me, like say I go to bed at night and it doesn't affect me, then I might try the rest of it. But I'll see how this little bit. So like I said, drink a little bit, see how it does. If it works and it doesn't affect you like that, then you can continue to take it. But they're in capsules, thank the Lord, but still you don't know. So like I said, take a sip of it, wait a few minutes. If it doesn't affect you, then you can take the rest of it. But if you read the back of it and it says that, don't even risk it. Just take that little bit and that will be the end of it. But I'll see how I feel in the morning. If it doesn't bother me in the morning, then I will pretty much finish this, and I'll drink the rest of that one, and I'll see how it go. If it does affect me, then I won't take it. Luckily, I took my antacid, my allergy pills earlier today, so we'll see. So I think that's it for me. So with that being said, I thank you guys for joining me for this episode. I'm your host. Y'all know who I am by now. I appreciate y'all for joining me for this episode. And until next time, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification button, receive notifications of my videos. And for those of y'all who want to be members of my podcast, please go ahead and do so. And with that being said, we'll talk later. Bye.